It's Bruce Ferris with Windermere Real Estate in Seattle. It is the 8th of July, Monday. We just came out of a July 4th week, so we're going to take a quick look at the stats for that and then take a look at our topic for the day. We have understandably very few listings that have come on market over in the far left in the green. An interesting number of properties went into pending inspection status, however, which was kind of cool. Highest number of new listings coming onto market throughout the year was just recently at 1,040. There we are at the latter part of June. And our highest number of properties going into pending inspection status or pending status within 6 days of being on market is right here at the latter part of May. So, but we're down in terms of the actual properties going into pending inspection or pending status within 6 days, which means the market's certainly slowed down a little bit, which is healthy. Let's take a look at over here on the right. I'm not going to pay much attention to these because they're so skewed as a result of the few amount of listings that just came into the marketplace. However, 73% is healthy in terms of market absorption from those going pending compared to those coming onto the marketplace. That's a 7-day look at it. Our lowest amount has been 62 recently. Our highest was earlier in the year. We were at 92. There we are, 92%, and that again was right in the middle of May. So let's move on. Our topic du jour, with apologies to the band Chicago. Yeah, that's as much of a pain, I'll give you that. And let's take a look here. This is a listing launch worksheet that we use to start our valuations on a property. And what I'm going to look at very quickly is all the different valuation tools that you see out there on the web that say that they can tell you how much your property is worth. So this particular property, a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house up in the northeast corner, sort of in Ravenna, King County's got it valued at $705,000 on the assessment. It was purchased in 2012 for $439,500. And when I look at the MLS data for 2-bedroom, 1-bath houses in that time frame, the original sale price at $439,500, that whole area around the property had an average of $545,000, and that same area is now at $995,000. That's a 182% increase. And if I take our square footage and then go ahead and apply it to us, that would put us at 802 essentially. If I look purely at 2-bedroom, 1-bath considerations, $367,000 at that time was the average for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. Now that same 2-bedroom, 1-bath in that neighborhood is $650, and that puts it at 177%, putting this property at $778. So there's 182 and 177 now that we've seen. I also use another type of standardization that I do, which is looking at the overall market, looking at what we call 3-bedroom, 1.75, 2-bath, pre-1980, in the northeast and northwest sectors, basically Ballard, Ravenna, et cetera. And those numbers are a little bit lower at 171% and $755,000 then when applied to our square footage. King County, we were able to use a Windermere tool that looks at King County price conversions, and using Case-Shiller for price conversion, using that same sale price, it put it at 782, 177%. Again, we saw that before. For the overall King County index of average sales, 842 is where it puts it, which is 191, which seems kind of high. 821 for median sales puts it at 186. Now, let's go look at the other one. Zillow has got this thing at 805, which is 183% differential between what it sold for before and what it is now. Using their comparable home sales, 184. Using their assessor work, 198, which seems high again. Using just looking at the time of purchase of the overall area around it, that puts it at 177. So we're starting to see some fairly consistent numbers here in terms of what has happened. Here's 187 based upon the range there. Now, CoreLogic, which is another valuation system, they're as high as 206%. I'm just going to throw that out. The same with ePraisal. They're putting it at 199%. That means a doubling since then. And the same thing for Realtor.com puts it at 204%. Chase, on the other hand, they've got a valuation tool that's putting this thing up almost as high as 210%. 190% out of Redfin, 183 off of realestateabc.com, and then for sale by owners, there's that 209.78, which basically tells us that they are using the same model as Chase in order to do their numbers, whatever that valuation system is. Now, let's take a look at this. It's like, why is this so hard then to come in with a pricing on a property? And here's what a realtor looks at when he's looking at the MLS and the data that he would get. Here are all the properties that are 3 bedrooms, built prior to 1980, that sold in the last 180 days across the region here. And for that, I find out that there are 216 total, average at $225,000, 102.44 100% sale price list price ratio, right? Let's go take a look at those that sold under list price. And so here we are. The average for those that did that is 97.39%, 48 days on market. We then also looked at those that sold at exactly 100%. 37 of those 230 sold exactly at 100%. We've got 10 of them that sold within the first $10,000 over list price. And we got a whopping 93 that sold 10,000 or more over list price at 107.49% sale price list price ratio. And then finally, I did a review of those properties that actually sold at 110% or more. And there were 24 of those that did that. So let's go take a look at the actual statistics for that then. I think sheet 14 is that for us, and I think this is pretty stunning. The total closed sales was 230, and let's go over here to the far right, 102.44 sale price to last list price ratio. 101%, however, to the original list price. So we got 230 of those take place. 67 of those sold below 100%, and the average market time for those was 48 days on market, starting 840, dropping to 816, and finally selling it, call it 795 for fun. 97% of list price originally. Now, let's take a look at those that sold exactly at list price. 37 of the 230 did that, and they were averaged at 13 days on market, and all these numbers will be the same here because it's 100%. Let's go take a look at those that sold within 10,000 over list price. This is pretty amazing. 10 of them did, and it was 10 days on market average. We've got 768 going up to 774. That's your average on that. Let's talk about those 93 that then sold more than 10,000 over list price. And we've got 7 days average on market. 795 is your start price, 854, 107.49% list price sale price ratio. And then for those 23 that sold 110% or more over list price in the last 180 days, 6 days on market, 773 is your start price, 877. So we're roughly $105,000 over list price on that. Let's take a look at the columns that show us the differentials between those. Here's how many basically sold below 100%. Here's exactly at 100%. Here's the within 10,000, excuse me. And there's your whopping amount that sold at 10,000 or more over list price. It's pretty amazing how many there were of that in that area. Let's get rid of our chart editor over here on the right-hand side, and we can see the same set of numbers over here. So we're at 7 minutes, 35 seconds. That's one of the longer ones I've done recently. Hope that was fun and interesting. Do reach out if you have any questions. 206-730-3285. Looking forward to talking to you later. Take good care. Hope you had a great 4th. Bye-bye.